Hello everyone, I'm Tim Green, I'm the features editor of the MEF, and welcome to today's very special MEF Connects webinar in association with Cookies Digital. The title of today's session is Building an Esports Universe to Drive User Adoption, Engagement and Revenues. Esports is one of the fastest growing market sectors in the world, and here's a stat I found that just shows how big it is. In 2016, 31 million people watched the NBA Basketball Game 7 season climax. Meanwhile, 43 million watched the 2016 League of Legends Esports final. And that was obviously 6 years ago, and now the market is even bigger. So obviously there are fantastic opportunities for companies in the mobile ecosystem to participate in this exciting space. And the MEF member, Cookies Digital, has been working hard on its own esports products and services, and now it's ready to talk about its latest launch. So over the next 45 minutes or so, we'll hear from Simone Tremarchi. He's the man behind Play and Play, Cookies Digital's new mobile esports platform. We'll also hear from eFootball professional player Emiliano Spinelli. And excitingly, we'll hear from legendary Italian football player Alessandro Del Piero, who's now an esports investor and the public face of Cookies esports activity. So before we kick off, just a quick reminder, we'll be recording today's session so you can watch again or you can share with colleagues who missed it. You'll get a link next week if you signed up for this webinar. So click on that and watch again. And you can also ask a question, and please do by clicking on the Q&A tab at any time. I'll be checking those questions and I'll ask them at the end. So we've got about 15 minutes today, and I'm looking forward to it. And I'm now going to hand over to Simone. Over to you.
Hi everyone, and nice to meet you, or at least you see me. I don't, but it's okay. I will drive you into this journey into the esport world and ecosystem. I have prepared a presentation to help myself speaking about what is my passion from 24 years actually, because I'm a long time gamer, long time player of esport games. And I want to really thank Emiliano Spinelli. Is one of my, let's say, colleague in playing. That is joining me to let's say have a dialogue and explain more from a different point of view, different perspective, some of the let's say some of the subjects that we are going to touch today. So let's start. This is what we are talking about today. This is the presentation. We are going to talk about the esports story in the past, present, and the future of the movement. And then I will present you guys the Play and Play product. That is the esport platform developed by Cookies Digital. That is the company that I work for today. And after that, I will let you have the first look, let's say, worldwide to split screen, and so to do a web series that is whose host is Alessandro Del Piero, and it's a journey through the world of esport. So this is what I am. Nice to meet you. As I repeat, I'm an electronic engineer. I have got my degree back in the days in 2005. I'm 43, almost 44 years old right now. And while I was studying, I become more and more engaged with video games and video game tournaments. It were the years of the really experimental and the first tournament on video games in Italy that were very big, actually, almost big as the Swedish one, for example. And I was fortunate enough and good enough, of course, to become the first Italian champion of StarCraft. StarCraft is a strategy game that is very difficult. And that happened in 2001. After that, I managed to play internationally. I took my first intercontinental flight, and I flew to Korea, South Korea, to see my opponents in face and to participate to the first World Cyber Games. That is what back in the days we called the Olympics of video games, with a lot of players, a lot of money at the stake. There were something like $500,000 for 6 games, 6 disciplines. And I came back to Italy with no money, no winning, of course, and with one strong decision that I would love to have this career as a living. Even if I took my degree and I became an engineer, I've tried with all my forces to work in the video game industry. So I became a caster. Caster is a commentator of esport matches, and I did that for the first time in Italy. I was the first caster in Italy. Then an organizer. I worked in 100 events behind the scenes. I did a lot of stuff, such as, you know, connecting cables, connecting LAN cables, also this, but also directing the new casters to put them in front of a camera and let's say help them in have the best show for all the people that was coming to see our events. And besides that, I'm a journalist. I wrote for Gazzetta dello Sport. I wrote, yes, and now I'm writing for Corriere dello Sport. There are 2 major daily newspaper of sport in Italy. I'm also have a YouTube and a Twitch channel in which I play Magic the Gathering. That is my game of today, let's say. And as I said, I'm a gamer since I was a kid. A long time ago, I started playing video games. And just to present Cookies Digital, this is a brief introduction to our company. It is founded in 2013. Our headquarters is in Rome. We are almost 20 people, and we're running performance campaign and providing digital content distribution in Europe, Middle East, Africa, Asia, and LATAM. We were featured in Financial Times Top 1000 Europe Fastest Growing Company 2020 and 2021. We are a certified gold partner specialized in mobile and display ads in 2018. 2019, we acquired a minority stakes of optics. And in 2020, 2021, we listed for 2 years, as I said, in Financial Times. What I can say beside this slide of Cookies Digital, I really want to thank the founder and my bosses, Paola Silano, Lorenzo Vella, Yolanda Faraone, and Valentina Tranquilli, to welcome me in this new adventure, new chapter of my life, professionally speaking. I come from the esport industry. I have never been in VIS sector, or at least, let's say, in the mobile advertising sector. And what I found is a great family, and with really passionate and beautiful people. And I want to say it publicly, really thank you for this opportunity to work, as I said, in this world, and in what you will going to listen, that's Split Screen, this format web series with Alessandro and Piero. So let's add some details to Cookies Digital. These are our 3 to-go markets: B2C, business to operators, and business to business, because we've got, as I said, we are a distributor of mobile products to consumer via carrier billing. We are going to create, we did actually create some digital entertainment contents for licensing to operators. And we are also specialized in user acquisition for digital content. So let's going to speak about my passion, that is esport. One thing that I want to say for first is that esport looks like a new trend. A lot of people are joining the hype train yesterday or something like that because they heard about the massive number of people that are watching esports event right now, or the good quantity of money that a pro player can gain today. But esport is not new. Esport has got a long story. And the first date of, let's say, when the academic make the esport start is 1997, when Dennis Fong, there is this guy, won, I don't know if you see my mouse, but it's the guy inside the Ferrari, won the John Carmack car at the Red Annihilation tournament of Wake. So let me briefly explain what happened. John Carmack is a developer of ID software, one of the best, let's say, publisher and developer of video game in the past, not right now, actually, and he's a collectionist of Ferrari. And for the first tournament, for his first multiplayer game in history, he gave one of his Ferrari to the winner. And Dennis Fong, after won the Ferrari, he sold it and he became an entrepreneur. And that's how everything started, okay? So the esport term was used actually for the first time from the Minister of Culture and Tourism in South Korea. His name was Ji-won Park in year 2000. He was opening a minister of a country. He was opening one of the major tournaments in South Korea in that year. Sound crazy for an Italian. I don't know, Emiliano, if you agree, but it's
Absolutely.
what actually happened. And what is esport? Esport means competitive tournament of video games in which professional, sorry for the, it's missing a letter, gamer are involved. The first big tournaments in history were all held in Asia and particularly in South Korea for at least the first decade of esports. That is from the year 2000 to the year 2010. I been fortunate enough to be there, and when I was there in 2001, what really shocked me is that the pro gamer from Korea were walking by this tournament with bodyguards. Have you got bodyguards, Emiliano, when you were a pro gamer?
No, I'm big enough to defend myself by myself, but no, it's totally another attitude of culture.
Yeah, but I can assure he is big enough as well, for real. So continuing back to telling you the history of esport, today esport is $1 billion industry, almost 2 billion actually. And year by year, the revenue are growing up with strong percentage. Besides a small stop during the years of pandemic, and I want to highlight this with this context because a lot of people were coming to me when the pandemic started, also the television, saying, wow, you're an expert in esport here in Italy. Esport will be the future now that the sport stopped. And it's not that true because the pandemic hurt the esports ecosystem as well, because the revenue really comes from events. 60% of total revenue are from sponsorship, and sponsorship want to see real people coming to a real event. Then there are media rights, publisher fees, and so and so on. But anyway, this is something that I want to tell you. So besides that, oh, okay, this is how the esport ecosystem works. I know it's very difficult to watch this slide without being lost. I will try to make you guys understand what's going on. So first thing first, money in the video game industry comes from the selling the video games, so or selling digital goods into the video game. And esport is totally different industry, because esport is I don't know, a quarter marketing, a quarter sport, a quarter event, and a quarter video game. Sorry, a quarter TV. So there are publishers that organize some video game event, but sometimes they are not. They just give the license and they are paid licensing fees from the organizer, like ESL or PGL, that they run the event. And these events are, of course, big events that are in, sports all around Europe right now. And sponsors pays for the right to be in this event. And also the platform, like Twitch or Facebook Gaming, can pay the event organizer for having the rights to broadcast this event. And let's say that at the center of the ecosystem, there's the player. Player have a salary from teams, and the teams sell merchandise, have donations as well, but of course have sponsorship from big brands, and it's like the sport industry. But players as well usually are streamers like Emiliano, and the revenue comes from viewership, so from donations, as I said, and advertisement, and this is very difficult to understand if you are not into esport, but players are usually not so strong in the ecosystem. Do you agree with this, Emiliano?
Yeah, unless you are really one of the major superstars. Also on a legal side, we are not really represented and defended.
Yeah, legal side is very, very crucial. I mean, where in the sport industry, you see the players are like really the superstar and what is bringing on the movement. Here is more the teams and the publisher. The publisher are really the ones that are having the power to fuel all the ecosystem in esport. So anyway, getting back to the growth of the movement, a lot of people are using, numbers such as viewership or I don't know, money that are invested by brands to see if there is a real growth or not. I like to use the number of esports tournament per year and the total prize money for the tournaments, because when we speak about esport, we are really speaking about video game tournaments. If you are playing FIFA from your house and you are just involved in a multiplayer game, you're not doing esport. Okay? If you go to a tournament, or if you play a tournament from your house, now today is the normality, you are doing esport. And so to make you guys show how much this movement is growing, I took this slide from 1998, the start of the movement, to 2021. And as you can see, thanks to non-endemic brand, this is very important, like KFC, Coca-Cola, B&B, Mercedes, or whatever, the total prize money in esport per year is really, really growing up until the pandemic, as I said before. And so this was the past, and this is today. Esport is really a way to engage new audience, because a lot of brands are inside esport because people that are into esport are really, really passionate and really, really listen to the suggestion of a team or a player or a streamer, something like that. And the esport global audience is really, really growing year by year. And there are a lot of passionate people that are watching people play video games on the internet. That's because the TV usually, let's say, wasn't sold about video games and video game tournaments. But at the moment, really, there are a lot of people, also your boss, maybe your colleague, they don't say this to you, but they're watching esports probably. Because it's something like playing video games makes you, I don't know, dumb or a kid, and but it's not that anymore. The average age of the gamers was growing up and up and up. And now it's almost 35 years old. So everyone is a gamer, or at least everyone I know. I don't know. What do you think, Emiliano?
Absolutely, everybody is a gamer. And if you think about the mobile sector, I have my mother that plays with the mobile, so she's a gamer too. And I think this period is really delicate because a lot of sharks want to invest in this market, and us, me or Simone, people like us that are esports passionate before being people that works in this industry, we have to defend, but also to welcome and to explain how our passion it is, in order to gain positive vibes and positive people to join this industry.
Yes, I absolutely agree. So speaking about esports, there's a misconception that is very, very big, that the most sold video games are also the most played online or the most watched in tournament. It's not like that. For example, FIFA is one of the most the biggest sold video game in Italy, for example, in England as well. But it's not, you don't see it in this slide. There's no a lot of attention on FIFA tournaments. So the three pillars of the esport entertainment industry are CSGO, Counter-Strike Global Offensive, League of Legends, and Dota 2. With the numbers you can see on the slide, with CSGO, let's say, was at the top, but now is no more. League of Legends is actually the most watched and most important esport in the world, and Dota 2 is slightly going down. Valorant is a very new video game for Riot Games. It's got a lot of potential. And Call of Duty is always very, very big in the scene. But for example, you don't see Fortnite. There's, the people that all the kids are playing, because there are not a lot of tournaments in Fortnite. There are, of course, but for example, after organizing the Fortnite World Cup, there is no more big tournaments in Fortnite, or at least right now. While CSGO, League of Legends, Dota 2 are really, really, esport focused. We are speaking about teams with a strong rivalry and years of playing and something like that. So pay attention when someone come to you and they say, yeah, we are going to do esport on FIFA. Wait, I heard one guy on a webinar that said that maybe it's not so big, okay? Let's speak about the future. Emiliano just referred to the mobile gaming as, something that is very established. In fact, I've called this slide next big thing, and mobile esports, the future. I'm honestly mistaken here because it's really the present. Mobile gaming is everywhere, everywhere. And in Asia, it's something massive, very, very big. For example, if after you see this slide, maybe we can try to speak, which is the biggest tournament organized in 2021? One of CSGO, Dota 2, or League of Legends. For example, the Wars of League of Legends, there is the one that everyone is speaking about. No, it was not. Free Fire World Series in Singapore, 22 May, 29 May, was the most watched event in the history of the movement. Because, as I said, it's a mobile game and it's in Asia. And this is really, really important. And this is why I've built with Cookies Digital a platform that is focused entirely on mobile games, because I really believe that mobile gamers and mobile esporter, if you want to use this word, are going to be very, very big in the future. So let's speak about our vision of Cookies Digital and why we are here. The idea is driving user adoption with an OTT product dedicated to the esport community, but open to every casual gamer or gaming enthusiast. The idea we've got in Cookies is that, tournament of video games are fun and are fun to watch. I really love, it's my life. I really love them, but it's anyway, it's a niche, sorry for my pronunciation, considering the whole, let's say, ecosystem and the whole gamers around it. So we build a platform that is divided. We want to welcome the so-called hardcore gamers, the ones that are going to the tournaments and want to decide which is the best between them. We want to welcome also the casual gamers, so people that are just doing, a game or two every day. And most important, we want to welcome the non-gamers. So we want to have content for people that maybe don't play, but that are curious about video game. And I'm sure that a lot of people that is listening right now, for having in this webinar, you are curious. I'm sure you're curious, but a lot of people want to know more about this world and they don't have the possibility. So what we did, you were seeing the platform that we are building, and what you will find in this platform, you will find tournaments that, of course, as I said, so Del Piero is connecting, Tim. I received an SMS, sorry if I interrupt. So there are tournaments in which the hardcore gamers can compete. Then there are challenges, and challenges is like sharing your achievements. We will try to give people an objective in a lot of video games, and they can share when they reach it. So it's very easy to fulfill. Something like get that weapon in that level, that's it. You do a screenshot or you do a video, better a video, of course, then you upload to the platform and you're done. You receive some points and you are in the leaderboard of the challenges as well. And for the non-gamers, we've got video content that, in my opinion, is really, really the driver for. Also, we spoke about esport for half an hour, and I've said to you that esport is half that it's means a billion. But what is esport? Esport is video content. I mean, the output of the esport tournament is a video content actually that people can share and see, and that's why it's going to be so big. And in our platform there will be a lot of original video content for every kind of players or non-players. There will be courses from very big influencer or pro player. I hope also that I can involve Emiliano, because he is very good in Pro Evolution Soccer, someone say to me. And we will have some, let's say, show that are just for fun, doing from, I mean, made from big influencer. Then we have infotainment. So we've got documentary style that will tell you which are the top esport moment in history. And of course, we will have split screen. And this is the trailer of Split Screen. I will leave the audio on, and I know Alessandro is here, and after that we will talk about this web series. So
Ciao everyone, I'm Alessandro Piero and welcome to Split Screen, the talk show about the world of esports and much more.
And let's have some fun together.
Who said that? Hey!
At the beginning of the stream, I had my hair done, my makeup done.
Why this nickname?
It's actually a funny story.
It's a bit sad, I think. Yeah, that's my nickname.
Yeah, that actually sounds like a cool name. Oh, yes, I got recognized. Yes. It's time to watch you play.
This is fun.
Bravo.
That's too old for me. That's not fair. How old is this?
Divac working another jam. 3 jams in a row for the Lakers. Oh my God.
Is that my body?
Okay.
Oh no.
Time is over.
okay, so Split Screen is an online talk show hosted by Alessandro Del Piero. It's a connection between two worlds, the video game and the sports world. It's inspired by the American late night show. Each episode will have a different guest or champions like Raynor or Wenger, famous influencer like Power or Just Got. And of course, the host doesn't need any presentation. And so welcome to MEF, Alessandro Del Piero. Oh, wait, I have to stop sharing. Okay, now you can see us full screen. Hi, Alex.
Hi, how are you? Ciao
I'm
Simone.
fine. Ciao, Ale. Come stai?
Bene, bene.
Thank you for being here. Thank you very much. So you
It's a
want to say
pleasure.
something about Split Screen?
Well, yeah, I mean, it's been a long journey, you know. We spend it's like a baby because we spent 9 months, maybe 10 together, and it was an incredible experience. I had the opportunity to meet a lot of gamers. Unfortunately for me, most of them younger than me. So it was a kind of updating system for me to, in order to understand much more about this beautiful world, incredible world. I mean, Split Screen was a format that we spend time together to see how we can merge two worlds, the esports world and the sports world. The two that one is my passion, but the other one is much more than my passion because I spent all my life playing football and sports in general. So It's been a long journey, the opportunity to meet incredible human beings, not only incredible gamers. And this is what I discovered during my conversation and during the show, from different kind of background, international players, and that share with me all the kind of experience that they had, and in the personal life, not only in the games life, you know, let's say like this. And this is the beauty of this format that allowed us to discover the different personality that belong to these human beings and girls, boy, every kind of age, from every part of the world. I mean, it was such an incredible experience.
Yeah, I really want to thank you from the bottom of my heart, Alex, for being the face of Split Screen, because it's, for the gaming movement, for the esport movement, this is very, very huge, and it means a lot. And that said, I'm sure that you have, you have interviewed 20 people and you really like their story very much. I was there, so I know. And but I want to, just for let's pretend that no one will listen. If you've got a sort of, favorite one that remain, this story remain, and there's Emiliano here, so you can say Emiliano if you want.
No, we had a great time with Emiliano, of course. And the funny thing is, because Emiliano is part of a little number of gamers that are from Italy. The funny part that we spoke in English instead of Italian. That is our mother language. And but I mean, with him, with all of them, I have a different kind of experiences. Not only because they share with me what they've been through, how they become gamers, and what happened in their personal life, but also because being a father and watching my kids play video games, spending time in front of the screen. So at the beginning, I was kind of concerned, about the physical and mental health, and so it's something that you, as a parent, you are concerned, and you are worried sometimes that it's the right things to do. How long are you gonna stay, and for which reason, for which games? So it was also good for me as a personal, for my personal idea, understand more about how they become gamers, and what is the value that are behind these human beings. Because from outside you think, oh, this guy gonna play all day long, and they don't have any kind of interesting, instead of stay in front of the screen and play games. But this is not the true. So that is the one of the most important and interesting part of the show, and this is also later in these years become a professional for them, become something that you can not only earn money, but earn responsibility as well. And because of the career, most of the time it's very short. Some of them already move in different kind. They become a businessman. They open agency. They become agent. They become coaches. So it's a very unique way to understand. I don't want to say 360 degrees the world of esports, but most of them, and in the 20 episodes that we have together. And I'm not gonna pick ones, because all of them give me some time of emotion and vibration, to be honest. And this is something that remarkable, because some of them, they were more ready to speak about their personal life, some of them about their game life, but in both cases, all of them, had the opportunity to tell to the world, not only to me, what they want to do and what they're doing. And this is great.
Thank you very much, Alex. Tim, back to you.
Okay, so hello, Alessandro. I'm Tim Green. I'm features editor of the MEF, and I'm a big football fan. So it's an absolute pleasure to meet you. And I remember you playing, and usually for Italy, and usually beating England. So, but I still love the way you play. Anyway, so I just wanted to ask you. You mentioned that your children were playing video games, and you were watching that and had some concerns. When did you first become aware that people were playing video games as a sport and were watching video games in the way that they watch football or tennis or golf?
Well, yes. Now you have different platform on the social media where you can follow, the gamers, and some of them become huge. Especially my oldest one is very passionate, so he play different games as well. It's part of his week time, and of course it's something that between schools and sports, you play football outside and basketball, so you have also the time to spend in video games, because it's funny. I mean, I spent my life playing video games as well when I was between one of the other matches that I was doing. So it's become sense of a community as well, because you can meet people on through the screen and through the games, and could become a professional for them. I don't know, to be honest, because now they still enjoy the time during the game time that they are spent on the screen. So
Yeah.
it's something that give me these products, these episodes give me also as a parent some tips and some more knowledge about what's going on, and this is that's why this show it's very unique, also for not only the gamers,
Yeah.
but also for the families. We have a different gamers that they become passionate about the video games through their parents, for example.
Yeah.
Some of them that they don't know what they're doing. So it's all these different backgrounds is great, because you can, following the interviews, you can really fit in some of them.
Yeah.
And this is give you for sure more knowledge, and you can deal much better with these things that become huge. I mean, video games, it's huge already. So
some older people, or people who don't understand esports, they would think, oh, it's just people playing video games. It can't be that hard. But obviously there's a lot of dedication.
No.
So you've been a professional footballer, and you know how dedicated you have to be. Has filming this series made you realize how dedicated esports gamers are?
Oh yeah. It's yeah, you think about video games, you think about fun, and it's only fun, but for them it's become more than fun, and become a professional, and they spend a lot of time in preparation. That depends which game we're talking about. Some of these games are more tactics, some of them have more skills, some of them you need to play in a team, for example. Some of them you play alone. So it depends which one you pick, but there's a lot of preparation, mental and also physical preparation. It's not easy to stay in front of the screen for many hours, but mental preparation as well, in order to become great in the game, but also when you are not playing. Because as every professional, if any passion that you have, it doesn't matter if it's a work, if it's a sport or esports, you put all yourself in that, and every piece of your body, of your mind, you put on that, especially if it's a passion. So and when you don't play, you need to clean your mind sometimes. And sometimes we've been through also personal situation when they need to take a break, for example, or they concentrate their time in a different way. So it was great for me to understand all of these different things, and most of the time we were of course playing and joking with them. Because I ask, I think everyone which team they support, to see if somebody support my team or they are against my team. But with all of them, I discovered that some kind part of the preparation for the game, it's the same. So
yeah, maybe Emiliano, maybe I should ask you. Alessandro just talked there about the dedication. You're a professional, so first of all, two questions. One, how do you prepare? How much time do you spend practicing? And second of all, we've had a few questions from the audience, and someone wants to know what has been your favorite moment as an esports player.
Sure. First of all, yeah, the preparation whenever a new season is approaching, like Alessandro said, it's like a football player. I mean, we have the preparation period, we have the period when we just train on the mechanics or about the tactics, studying the opponents, and also you could find in my episode with Alex, we shared a really nice moment where he gave me some suggestion on how carry on to have the same motivation each season after season, and I think we share a lot of real sports professional, let's say like that, because yeah, even if you have maybe less physical performance, you have to have way more sometimes mind performance or concentration, the frustration, the joy, because you don't win always, you always lose, and you have to learn and study. So yeah, we share a lot of fundamentals, I think. And to answer the second question, my favorite moment, probably I have it a lot. I cannot blame on that or be negative, but my favorite moment probably was back when I was at Arsenal, that I was presented in the middle of the pitch in the Emirates Stadium during the half-time pause. It was the match Arsenal-Newcastle, and it was really, really emotional for, meeting the fans and having chants. It was really nice.
Well, it's a shame because I'm a Spurs fan, so I hate Arsenal. Anyway, it's a good answer. Emiliano, you playing e-football games, but
maybe we can leave Alessandro. I mean,
yeah, just
go.
Okay, Alessandro, you have to go, right?
Yeah, I have to go, but just a last thought about what was this episode, what represents for me Split Screen. It was amazing, really. It was not easy because it's a new project for me, but not easy at the beginning, but then I become really, really more passionate about that, because these 20 stories has many personality that invest their time and they could try to become, of course, a gamer, a streamer, a programmer, or a caster, an opinion leader, and an entrepreneur in the esports industry. So some of them were forced to move abroad with their family. Some of them left the studies and made a sacrifice for become what they become, but everyone anyway start from a spark of passion, and they light up until it become a flame, let's say like this, you know. So listening their story left me pretty emotional sometimes, really, especially when they share these personal stories. Um, and it was great. I mean, I want to thank everybody that, you know, put me together to this project, and all the 20s personality that show, and we spend time together. And nothing. I wish you all the best for the rest of the show, and see you on the split screen, guys.
It was a real pleasure to see you, and thanks for joining us, Alessandro.
You're welcome. Ciao,
Bye.
everyone.
Ciao,
ciao.
Alex. Thank you very much, Alex.
Ciao, Emiliano. Ciao.
So, Emiliano, I was going to ask you. You said that you're an e-football player, but in the presentation, Simone said that like FIFA, for example, isn't that big in the esports world. So, which football game are you playing, and why do you think it is that football isn't so big as Dota and League of Legends and the other games?
I'm playing eFootball. The name of the game nowadays is eFootball, as Simone said, was well known in the past as PES,
Sorry.
Revolution Soccer.
I did a mistake before, you know, I changed name.
I started in PES, so it was fine. And yeah, answering the question, probably it's related to the, you know, all the infos that Simone gave to us. I mean, the majority of fan base through the years historically were on Southeast Asia. Now it's growing up a lot also in South America. And, you know, football there, especially in Southeast Asia, of course, it's not famous like in Europe, where it's the major thing. But eventually, I think we can also arrive to a lot of fans, especially going forward with the clubs, because day after day, each club is forming their esports department to, you know, to improve the fan engagement, especially for the younger fans that are less passionate about the real football, and so it's a tool to involve them as well. And I think it would be a good collaboration between the sports and the esports.
Okay, well, we're coming towards the end of our time, but I just want to come back to Simone and ask you about the Cookies Digital esports products. Have they launched yet, and how are you going to distribute them out to the market?
No, we didn't launch it yet, and we are going, of course, to have agreement with the operator that are interested in our product, and after that, the idea is to launch it via carrier billing and in selected market with all the feature that I have talked about before. Of course, we have a lot of, let's say, in our mind, and at the moment, this is the path we choose, but maybe we can change, I don't know, for example, split screen is such a big project that Cookies Digital is also interested maybe in licensing it to television. Why not? It's in English. Everyone can understand it.
So just to remind the audience of the products in the Cookies Digital range, you've got your split screen, which is 20 videos. Can you talk about the other products in the platform?
Excuse me, I didn't get it. Maybe.
So you presumably in the esports platform that you're launching, you have the 20 videos in the split screen range.
Yeah, there's 20 episodes. This first season is 20 episodes, and we've got a lot of other shows, of course. You want to know more about that?
Yes, please.
Okay. So we've got there's a big influencer in Italy. It's called Marco Merrino. It's very, very famous for his videos in which he's very, very angry against what he loves. So popular culture.
Okay.
Pokemon or video games, or and I have managed. He has got something like 1 million subscribers on YouTube, and I've managed to have him on board and convince him to translate all of his episodes in English with his voice. And so we've called it Pop Culture Ranter. I don't know. I hope it gives the idea. And after that, we've got also top esport moments. There is a list of the top esport moments in history. Then we've got 10 games that changed everything. There is an infotainment web series in which we are speaking about the 10 video games that are most important for the industry. And then we've got a lot of courses, not one, a lot. One is on FIFA. One is, there are different players, of course, that are teaching us the best practice. FIFA, Valorant, League of Legends, and so on. So, as I said, we got everything covered. You want to have fun, you want to learn something, or you want to see Del Piero, we've got everything covered.
So it's a strong area for you, this whole area of video games and related area. So just the last question, if there's any MNOs watching or partners watching and they're interested in finding more out about Split Screen, should they contact you, and when would they expect the series to launch?
As I said, we will launch it in the countries in which we've got an agreement with an operator.
Yeah.
And the moment I don't think I can disclose when and actually where, but it's very, very soon. Maybe I think next month, but there are some technical stuff that I don't know, so I don't want to say something is not true.
So this summer we'll see the product rolling out. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, it's been a fascinating hour. Really amazing insights, and it was lovely, obviously, to see Alessandro on a MEF Connects webinar. That's a real honour. So. Emiliano and Simone, thank you so much for your time. I'll just remind the audience again that they can watch again when we publish on the next site, which will be sometime next week. And anyone who registered will see a link in their email and be able to watch by clicking on that link. So once again, thanks very much. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much, Tim. You were the best host.
Thank you. Bye-bye.